great earthquakes. When we say great earthquakes, these are earthquakes greater than magnitude 8. So there's nothing unusual here. We know that the Philippines has many active faults.
Okay, but just for the record, Katoto, gaano ba katagal yung naging tremor kagabi sa Cebu? Kasi based on videos, parang 1 minuto halos eh.
Yes po, depende po kasi yan sa, if you're very close to the epicenter, it would last for like several seconds, even close to up to a minute. But kapag malayo-layo ka naman, the shaking would only a few seconds lang.
And Katoto, early this morning, there was also an eruption in Taal volcano. Is this related to that? What could have caused this eruption as well of Taal?
No, the earthquake that happened last night in Cebu has nothing to do with the eruption of Taal volcano early this morning. This is unexpected activity for Taal volcano, considering that Taal volcano is on alert level 1.
Alright, and finally, Katoto, ano po ba yung mga reminders natin para sa mga kababayan natin sa Cebu as they should now be expecting aftershocks following this 6.9 magnitude earthquake?
Okay, so for our kababayan in Cebu, magiging if there is a strong aftershock, again, we advise them to do the duck cover and hold. And kapag may na-notice sila na visible damage doon sa kanilang mga bahay, wag muna silang pumasok. They consult their municipal or city engineers and seek for their advice as to the integrity of their houses. Kasi kung hindi man ito na-damage or nasira during a during the main shock, these structures may collapse during a strong aftershock.
Kailangan alerto talaga silang lahat. But for now, thank you very much for updating us. That was PBOX Director Teresito Bacolcol. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now in other news, the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee has summoned former Congressman Zaldy Co over the alleged flood control scam. But committee chairman Senator Ping Lacson admits Co is abroad and unlikely to attend. He said a subpoena and possibly a warrant of arrest await if Co ignores the hearings. Also invited is former Speaker Martin Romualdez with the invitation to be coursed through Speaker Boji D. Senator Bato de la Rosa opposes online attendance, warning the Senate would have no hold if they lie.
Mahirap yun. Kung magsinungaling siya, hindi natin siya ma-cite in contempt. Di ba? Kung ganun lang, o kaya online, hindi natin siya ma-cite in contempt. What if magsinungaling siya? So, wala tayong hold sa kanya. He should be within our jurisdiction. Bakit ba kung wala ka sa country, hindi ka pwedeng umuwi? Kung gusto mo talagang harapin yung Blue Ribbon Committee? Flight means guilt.
Meanwhile, allies are pushing for the temporary release and eventual house arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte, citing concerns over his health. Critics, however, warn the move could be a tactic to delay his trial for crimes against humanity. Here's that report. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's camp submitted new medical records to the International Criminal Court to prove his cognitive impairment. But the camp of victims to his drug war believes this to be just another alibi to keep the case from moving forward.
Yung timing, number one, ng mga submissions ng defense, parang suspicioso. If President Duterte, the former president, had been unfit for trial from the very beginning, as his attorney says, then why raise it 5 months after he was arrested? Right on the brink, on the eve of the hearing, confirmation of charges hearing. Second, it's one pleading, one request after the other.
Former Senator Sonny Trillanes also doubts Digong is unwell to stand trial. He also questioned if there is truth to Vice President Sara Duterte's claim that the former president was recently found unconscious while in detention. Trillanes insists the ICC has a competent medical team inside the facility and that any welfare check on the detainee would require his consent. Congressman Pulong Duterte had accused Trillanes of being part of the Philippine government team that supposedly recently visited his father.
Nakuha natin na impormasyon sa ICC na wala pong nangyayaring bisita kay Duterte nang hindi niya pinapayagan. So outside the lawyer at yung mga pamilya niya, ay wala ho nangyayaring ganon. Kaya lahat po ito ay malaking kalokohan at drama nung kampo ng mga Duterte. Gusto nilang tawaan, gusto nilang mag-create ng duda at kung ano mang dahilan para mabigyan ng interim release si Duterte.
Congressman Pulong has pointed to a photograph of Trillanes while in The Hague that had a caption, "Duterte is still inside the ICC's detention facility." But the former senator called this as yet another false information from the Duterte camp.
Konteksto nun, di ba, naglabas ng fake news yung mga Duterte. Kasama na si Kitty Duterte na nag-grant na raw yung interim release. So kaya ako nag-post ng ganon. Kasi naitanong ko dun sa mga kaugnayan natin kung totoo ba yon, sabi nila hindi. Kaya sinabi ko, hindi totoo na nasa loob pa rin siya.
Trillanes also claimed that based on information he gathered as an interested party in the Duterte case, the ICC's arrest warrants against Senators Bato de la Rosa and Bongo are coming. The arrests, according to Trillanes, could come next year with the two charged as principals.
Sila yung integral dun sa war on drugs ni Duterte. So si Duterte taga-utos, si Bato taga-enforce sa PNP, si Bongo taga-distribute ng pera.
Meantime, Trillanes likewise alleged that there were active groups that had wanted to hijack the September 21 rallies to bring back the Dutertes to power. Back to the ICC, the Office of the Prosecutor maintained that there are potential risks in granting Duterte temporary freedom. In a publicly redacted document, the prosecutor wrote, quote, "The prosecution has demonstrated through multiple filings that Mr. Duterte, if granted interim release, would be a flight risk, is likely to interfere with the proceedings, and may commit further crimes." It also pointed to the defense unnecessarily delaying proceedings through 4-1, waiting until 5 months after Duterte's initial appearance to file its challenge regarding his fitness to stand trial. Back at the Philippine Senate, a caucus was held on Tuesday afternoon to discuss the resolution by the minority bloc, calling for Duterte to be placed under house arrest here. Known Duterte ally, Senator Robin Padilla defended the measure by expressing his immense concern for the former president's health condition.
Kasi meron na pong matinding sakit si Tatay Digong. Sa kasalukuyan po, siya po ay meron ng tinatawag nating early signs of dementia.
And up next, cybercrime officials issued a warning. Influencers promoting illegal gambling must stop now or face legal consequences. All that and more when Morning Matters returns after the short break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. Social media influencers Sashna Laparan and Big Boy Cheng have cooperated with the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, or CICC, to help educate the public about the risks of online gambling. According to CICC's Threat Monitoring Center, 1,007 unlicensed online gambling websites and 146 illegal online sabong platforms are still operating in the Philippines. At least 119 influencers have been documented promoting illicit platforms through content creation, live streaming, and referral links. Investigations further reveal that most of these sites are hosted offshore, highlighting the transnational nature of the threat. And joining us now to talk more about illegal online gambling is CICC Acting Executive Director Yusek Aboy Paraiso. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Pauline. Happy to be here.
Okay, so far, sir, the CICC has found these 1,000 illegal online gambling sites. Is that still operating in the country, or are these mostly overseas?
Oh, they're mostly overseas. As you well know, that the nuances of illegal online gambling, most of the backends are located elsewhere, so they exploit it. But what we do in the ICC, this is the case, we just have them blocked, and so they won't be visible here in the Philippines.
But how does that complicate your work, sir? Since they are run from abroad, how do you go after them? Are there enough mechanisms, laws to keep up, or do you always feel like you're playing catch-up? Kasi tuwing magte-take down kayo ng sites, I mean, you've already taken down, I believe, 8,000 sites so far, pero all these still crop up.
Yeah, that's a perfect word for it. We're playing catch-up or playing cat-and-mouse sa kanila. Because correctly said that whenever you put down a site, they just put up another one. What we're backing on here, Pauline, is really parang pag pinut down mo sila, mahirap na yung user experience, i-migrate pa nila yan. Then we really make it harder for the bettors to really play on these sites. So that's what we do. We disrupt. And then, again, ang ano nga sana dito, if we can, it's not really, for me, it's not really about disruption. I really want sana, if we can prosecute, identify people, prosecute, and then convict them. So we try to look at the whole organization as a criminal syndicate, and those who we can prosecute here because they're here, we go after them.
And how will that work, sir? Meron bang communication, coordination with other countries? And from which country do these illegal sites mostly operate? Saang bansa po?
Well, we see the traditional ones. We see Myanmar, Bangladesh, Vietnam. UAE is an emerging hub for these sites, so that's why we really have to step up our partnership and cooperation with these countries. And, I think that the long-term solution here is that not only for illegal gambling, but for all types of scams as well. So kailangan palakasin yung common mechanisms tsaka yung mga laws that would apply to each and every country whenever you post or whenever you harbor criminals there or scammers there. It would be easier to prosecute them whether they're here or there. So we're still in that process, Pauline.
Kumbaga, kailangan ng ngipin talaga ng batas, sir. And it's difficult because we're not just talking about the Philippines. As you mentioned, it's multiple countries now, Myanmar, Bangladesh, and now UAE. But the question is, sir, why do these websites continue to thrive despite government ban already? Are you saying they're getting more creative? How do they do this exactly? Is it through mirroring sites? What have you found from your initial investigation?
They have to be creative because it's a multi-trillion-dollar industry when it comes to scamming and illegal gambling. So I think that's the motivation for them to continue playing, or to continue operating. But we're trying to really disrupt that kind of operations. There.
Okay, so far, sir, let's talk about influencers. At least 119 influencers, at least here in the Philippines, were documented promoting these illegal platforms. Could they actually face legal charges?
Oh, yeah, that's what we're trying to achieve here. That before there was an initial list, diba? If you can remember, then we sent notices to explain. And some of them complied and apologized, and then for example, in the case of Miss Sasha Laparan, we sent her a letter. She went to the office. She explained that she didn't know that she was promoting a legal site. She was made aware that what she was promoting was legal. Then she took down all her promotions for that site, and then unfortunately for us, she now uses her influence in a positive way of promoting responsible gaming. So, and then there are others that fail to comply. So we're really trying to make an example out of them. We would recommend filing cases against them. We documented not only their promotions, but the actual these sites they're promoting are actually manipulating the results of the game. So we would hopefully achieve to successfully prosecute the case for estafa.
Estafa. Yun po ang magiging kaso sa kanila. Pero sir, itong if influencers like Sashna, pag sinabi po niya na she didn't know it was illegal, will you be more lenient to influencers like them? Kumbaga, does ignorance count as a defense, or aren't they expected to also do due diligence in researching these their endorsements?
But right now, we really there's a learning curve since this is something new for them. We try to understand, but as time goes along, for example, yung isang influencer. This time, you try to understand that they didn't know. They probably didn't know. You try to be more lenient. But if it's a repeat offender, malinaw na naglolokohan na lang, ibang usapan na yun.
Well, you did mention, sir, this is a multi-trillion industry. And we heard reports that some influencers were being paid as much as 500,000 pesos a week just to promote these sites. Can you confirm that figure? Does that align with what you found? 500,000 pesos a week?
Correct. On the average, yes. Some of them earn more.
Okay, so now you have influencers like Big Boy Cheng and now si Sash na nga, no? How valuable is this cooperation to your investigation, sir? And does this mean they will be spared already from charges?
Oh, this is really valuable, but because it's not only putting an end to or putting a halt to the promotion of illegal online gambling, but also the promotion of responsible gaming, and that's another campaign that we really have to push forward with. What was the second part of your question, Pauline? I didn't catch that.
Will they be spared, sir, from charges? And ask ko na rin, sir, how are they cooperating exactly? What kind of valuable information are they giving the CICC?
Yeah. So will they be spared for this particular? This particular time they would be spared because again, we try to understand that since they were ignorant that what they were promoting was illegal. We try to understand that, and then we're partnering up with them because they're using their influence now in a positive way. And the second part of the question is the value really of the partnership is using their influences in a positive way helps CICC do its job easier. It makes our job easier when it comes to shepherding people and bettors from the illegal gambling sites wherein they would be exposed to a lot of harms and possible manipulation and their money being stolen to these legal sites wherein we can regulate and then make sure that young bettors are not allowed there, and make sure that the games are not rigged.
Oo, pero sir, ang kalaban nyo kasi talaga dito is the proliferation of these illegal sites. I mean, no matter how you try to mount this information campaign, diba? As you mentioned, you're always playing catch-up, trying to go after these illegal online gambling sites. And let's face it, a lot of people are really getting hooked to online gambling, even young people falling to scams. Or would you say they're more knowledgeable now, given this drive against illegal online gambling? Are they more discerning?
I think naman. Kasi they only came to know about these illegal sites because they follow these certain influencers, they follow their, these people that lead them to these sites. And now because of us trying to limit that particular exposure or visibility when it comes to illegal sites, nakikita naman namin around, nung una nga nito, around from PAGCOR's statistics, bumaba naman yung talagang experience for users ng illegal online gambling sites. Coupled with the fact that we coupled yung mga online wallets when it comes to whether it's legal or illegal gambling sites, basta gambling or online gambling sites, dinikouple na ng mga online wallets. It resulted to a 50% dip in the operations and profits of these, whether it's legal or illegal gambling sites. So, again, we have to be more creative when it comes to strategies we try to employ to really curb out these illegal online gambling operations.
Wow, 50% na po ang na-reduce nyo just from delinking them from e-wallets. And tama naman po, di ba? You remove the accessibility kasi nung online gambling dahil nga yung pag nasa e-wallet, it makes it so much easier. Okay, but lastly, sir, what are your message? What is your message, I guess, to the public to be on how to discern itong mga illegal online gambling sites pa rin, yung mga nalulure pa rin into these platforms?
Well, for us naman kasi it's easy. If you really want to maglibang, there are a lot of legal gambling sites that you are sure that you won't be fooled. You can be sure that the games are not rigged. But I think more importantly is the exercise of responsible gaming. Dapat talaga yung paglalaro, yung paggagamble, libangan lang, hindi mo siya gagawing negosyo, hindi siya yung primary source of income mo.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you very much for joining us this morning. That was CICC Acting Executive Director, Yusek Aboy Paraiso. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pauline. Good morning.
Now, in other news, the Agriculture Department has discovered 9 ghost farm-to-market road projects in its latest audit. Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa said 7 of these are in Davao Occidental, while 2 are in Lanao del Sur. The projects were funded between 2021 and 2023, but many were either left incomplete or non-existent. The audit also found that some projects were already reported as completed, but on-site checks showed otherwise.
Ang role ng DA talaga is to identify and validate those proposed projects, and the implementation really are with the Department of Public Works. Based on the records, wala doon sa 15 identified by the President.
Now for the latest on the weather, Pag-asa is monitoring a low-pressure area within the Philippine territory. The LPA was last spotted some 1,080 kilometers east of southeastern Luzon. It has a high chance of developing into a tropical depression in the next 24 hours, or 24 to 48 hours. It will be given the name Paulo. Easterlies continue to bring scattered rains over several areas. These include Bicol Region, Eastern Visayas, Central Visayas, Caraga, Northern Mindanao, Aurora, and Quezon. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of the country may experience isolated rains. And coming right up, the province of Bulacan is at the center of the controversy surrounding anomalous flood control projects. But former Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson insists the Ilocos region warrants an investigation as well. Stay with us. We will discuss it further when Morning Matters returns after this short break. morning. I'm Pauline Verzosa, and here on Morning Matters, we talk about the most pressing issues and we give you the context behind the headlines. The Independent Commission for Infrastructure and the Anti-Money Laundering Council have signed a memorandum of agreement to strengthen the probe into alleged flood control anomalies nationwide. The signing was led by ICI Chair retired Justice Andres Reyes and AMLAC Chair Eli Remolona Jr., with other regulators also taking part. Reyes called the deal a declaration of resolve to root out corruption and to defend public trust. The ICI, just 2 weeks old, has already begun hearings into alleged ghost projects. The AMLAC, for its part, is preparing to review banks flagged for suspicious cash transactions. Meanwhile, former Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson urged the ICI to begin its probe in Ilocos Norte, claiming some projects there were linked to the Discayas. And now joining us this morning is former Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson. Good morning, Gov, and welcome to Morning Matters. Thank you for joining us, sir. Okay, so sinabi niyo po, Gov, the ICI should begin its investigation in Ilocos. And we all know, baluarte rin po yan ang presidente ng mga Marcos. Why should the ICI start in Ilocos?
Yeah, it should start there because the president is from there. It should start in Region 1, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Pangasinan, and La Union. Why? Because the flood control all over the country is 18 billion. Mas marami pa rito. Pero the top 3, the biggest, is Occidental Mindoro, which is 3 billion plus. Second is Bulacan, 2 billion 800. Third is Ilocos Norte, 2 billion 700. Bakit hindi ginagalaw itong Ilocos Norte? Bakit binubugbog yung mga iba? Dapat mag-umpisa sa Region 1.
Pero Gov, ano po ba nahanap nyo sa Ilocos? Is it anomalous flood control projects? Ano ba yung...
Well, according to them, marami lang hindi sira at saka wala yung mga iba, di makita. Up to now, may naghahanap doon. Because the Discayas have all over the country, 421 projects.
Correct.
Nakakapagtaka yun dahil paborito nila itong... Dalawa lang paborito sa Ilocos Norte. Maraming contractor pero dalawang paborito nila. Discaya and the mayor of Lawag City. Na-corner nila doon, ang dami. So...
Okay, but Gov, you also called out President Marcos to look into this. So with this call to probe Ilocos and their flood control projects, are you saying may kinalaman po dito ang presidente? Kasi ang projects,
Hindi, ang sinasabi ko lang, probinsya ng presidente yan, dapat alam niya.
But what have you found so far? Nakita niyo po ba yung kung sino yung proponent?
Meron ng iba na
project?
may mga pictures na dumating. Ayaw ko sabihin kung wala akong prueba.
Okay.
May mga pictures na dumating, mga sira-sira, saka mga iba, di mahanap. So, the ICI should start from the province of the president para makita natin ng talagang wala silang alam dyan. They should be transparent.
Okay. Pero yung Discayas, Gov, you mentioned, di ba? Yung they got billions worth of projects, kasama na rin ang Ilocos. Ano po ba, may link po ba ang Discayas sa mga Marcos? Because so far from the investigation sa Congress...
Hindi ko sinasabing meron, pero sila paborito nila eh.
Okay.
So kung paborito mo yung tao, kilala mo. But of course, I don't know if they're admit it. Pero bakit marami silang project doon? Dalawa lang. Yung mayor, bagong panalo, 6 billion ang nakuha niyang project doon sa Ilocos Norte.
Okay, so what you're saying now, Gov, is simulan muna nila yung investigasyon sa sariling...
In their own backyard.
In their own backyard, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But...
para maniwala ang taong bayan. Kasi napansin ko, when I was in Rome, I just came from Rome, napansin ko, lilampasan nila Ilocos Norte.
Well,
Bakit lilampasan?
But to be fair, kasi inuuna naman po ang Bulacan dahil doon nga po nagsimula yung the whole controversy with the Bulacan group of contractors. Saka na rin yung Mindoro. Although I believe kasama naman po sa iimbestigahan nationwide itong ang mga
Nationwide, they should go first to Ilocos Norte lang.
Unahin na
If they
po.
go nationwide.
Okay. Hindi naman po sekreto, Governor, that you supported President Marcos in his presidential bid in 2022, but now you are openly criticizing him.
Yes. You know, in politics, what I can tell you in politics is there is no such friend, a permanent friend in politics. All are temporary allies. Tingnan mo history lahat. Magkakasama, magkakalaban. That's politics.
Ano po nangyari, Gov?
Well, marami. Insulto ako lahat, pero tao lang ako eh.
Na-insulto po kayo, Gov?
Masaktan din. Bagong labas lang, hindi ako pinasi sa Japan. Alam na lahat yan. So, insulto yun, pero tinis ko. Hindi naman ako nagre-reklamo. 3 years ako nagantay. Marami. Pero yun nga ang ano nila ngayon, dinadivert nila sa mga ibang story. Focus tayo, mga taong bayan, dapat focus lang tayo sa flood control. Pero, ang flood control, isa lang yan. Kumbaga sa dragon, buntot lang yan. Wala pa yung katawan.
Oo, kumbaga tip of the
Tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg, Gov.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, Gov, because nabanggit naman po ito sa press ko nyo, that your family is also in the construction business.
Yes, nakatagal na.
Satrap.
Kaya
Diba?
nagtataka
Sa
ako.
tatay nyo pa po.
Yes, but national project and foreign funded project.
Okay. But now,
When I
your
was the
daughter
governor,
is
puro
a
foreign-funded
major
project.
shareholder of Satrap. Your daughter.
No, wala
na.
Wala.
Okay.
Divest na kami lahat.
Okay. You also said because itong Satrap construction, it cornered 2.7 billion pesos worth of DPW projects also in the last 9 years, Gov. Diba? It started 2016.
Ang sinabi, 10 years. Maliit yun kung 10 years.
Oo.
Pero, above board lahat. Bid. Nakipag-bid kami. Kung bisa talo nga kami. We don't want to corner. That's the reason why na ma-progreso Ilocos Sur. Because hindi namin kino-corner lahat. We support the businessman. Kung sino man nandun, sinusupport namin.
So itong mga proyekto po ng Satrap, which I believe includes 2 flood control projects, Gov, sa Santa Catalina, pati sa San Ildefonso, are you willing to be audited?
Yes.
You can
Unahin nila kung
confidently
gusto
say
nila.
na walang anomalyang
Walang
proyekto
anomalya.
ang inyong construction
Yes.
business. Okay.
Noong umalis ako, nasa Rome, binugbugan ko ng mga trolls, mga attack dog, mga asong ulol, na makaamoy ng pera, kakagat. So, sinasagot ko lang.
Okay.
Pag ginawa ulit yun, mas marami pa ko ilalabas.
Okay, Gov, let's talk about this system of corruption. Kasi kaya naman natin mainit ngayon ang mga flood control is because of the corruption that happens behind it. At yun na yung system ng kickback, ng commitment, SOP. What do you know about this, Gov?
Well, matagal na yan, pero not as big as this. Ito na ang pinakamalaki na skandalo sa buong history ng Pilipinas. And hindi lang yan. Nasa public works and highways lang tayo. Lahat ng departamento meron. So, kako nga, that's why I'm in favor of, I've suggested, and I'm going to say it again, I'm encouraging the student to lead a peaceful movement. Hindi ko na sabihin na revolution. Peaceful movement. Because this is their future. Future ng mga kabataan to. Now, nag-revolusyon na lahat dito sa atin. May people power led by so and so. Wala pang mga kabataan. A future nila ito. That's why I'm encouraging them to stand up and have a peaceful movement. Huwag silang lumabas. Ako nga nagsasabi, huwag silang lumabas sa kalye dahil ginugulo sila. During the 21, ginulo
Nandun po kayo, Gov.
Nagpakain na ako, hindi ako nagsalita. Umasyal ako. Yung huling pinasyalan ko, nagpa-picture pa lahat. Pag uwi ko, ang hapon, iba ng tao. Mga padala na yon na Puro
Sino?
Marcos siguro, dahil kontra Marcos ako eh. Nagbusin na ron. Okay lang, naiintindihan ko. Pero si President Marcos is worse. He is the president. Binubuhan ng tao sa men's volleyball.
Okay. Balikan ko muna, Governor, yung itong system of corruption. Sabi nyo, nagulat po kayo kung gano'n nakalaki.
Yes.
Dati ba hindi 30%? Ngayon kasi we're talking about 20 to 30% SOP na hinihingi daw ng mga lawmakers.
Yes.
Kayo po ay nagulat doon?
Nagulat at ghost project na eh. hindi lang porsyentuhan, ghost project na. Kung mahalata mo yung ang budget para maintindihan ang ating kababayan. Review ng presidente yan bago dalhin sa Congress and Senate. Pipirmaan niya yan. So alam niya. So, bakit na-tolerate? 3 taon na siyang presidente. Kung di niya alam. Kung di niya alam, anong kwenta siyang presidente? So something is wrong somewhere.
Pero dito, hindi po ba mas malaking problema, Gov, yung nangyayaring SOP kickback na ganyan? Saan po ba nagsisimula yan in your opinion? Sa tingin nyo, Gov? Because they're saying it starts in Congress. Ang original sin daw, ang mastermind niyan, ay syempre yung mga mambabatas, kung sino yung magpapasok ng insertions, makikipagsabuatan sa contractor, sa DPWH.
Yes. Oh, ganun.
Is it the senators and the congressmen?
Hindi ko masabi yan, pero may lagayan dyan, hindi natin alam kung sino.
Based on the hearing, sinusundan niyo po ba, Gov?
Sinusundan ko, pinagbibintangan na mga nalagyan. Congressman, senators. So, nawala na tayo sa focus sa graft and corruption. Iyon ang diversionary tactic.
Opo.
So, mayroon ngayon, pinatakbo na si Zaldy Co. Sacrificial lamb yan to save the king. So, focus tayo dito sa mga graft and corruption.
Okay.
So ako, suggestion ko, lalaki ito. Ang suggestion ko, alam lahat ni Presidente ito, he should resign bago siya patalsikin ng taong bayan, kagaya yung tatay niya. Dahil marami na, they're just silent. Marami nang nagagalit na tao sa mga nangyayari. Dahil ito na pinakamalaki. Bakit na-tolerate for 3 years? In his term alone, to. Term niya to.
So, Gov, what exactly are you accusing the President of? Is it lack of oversight or tolerance or do you think may pagko-cover up?
Oo. Yung last hearing lang, napanood ko, I was in Rome. Linampasan ng Ilocos Norte. Wala rito.
Okay, pero Gov, at the same time, ang tanong din, why would the President launch this whole investigation into flood control anomalies kung sangkot siya? If it will trace back to him,
Inunahan niya yung maglalabas. May maglalabas na eh. Inunahan na niya. Kunyari ka maglabas, pero hindi siya makalusot dahil meron siya sa Ilocos Norte. How come na nandun yung the Vizcaya have 421 projects all over the country. Ang Ilocos Norte have 38 projects. So dalawang favorite contractor nila. Alam naman, hindi nila kilala. So, kung i-compare mo sa Ilocos Norte, wala kami sa flood control. So, ang liwanag na, hindi ko sinasabi na sila, pero bakit paborito yung dalawa? Yung mayor na lilaban, yun ang 6 billion ang kontrata niya sa Ilocos Norte lang within 3 years of President Marcos. So,
you're talking about
parang
Mayor Brian Alcid.
1 plus 1 to eh, maintindihan mo eh. Bakit na-tolerate? Bakit paborito nila itong dalawang kontraktor?
Pero Gov, are you willing to push this, at least your own investigation, just like Senator Ping Lacson, di ba, nahanap niya itong mga ghost flood control projects. If you're really keen on proving anomalies po sa Ilocos Norte, the bailiwick of the President, are you willing to launch
yes.
an investigation yourself?
Meron na iba. Nagsasubmit na yung mga tao, nagsasalita na yung mga tao.
Ito, Gov, matagal na nga po kayo sa politika.
Yes.
And right now, we are in the midst of political turmoil. lalo na po sa Kongreso, ang Senate at ang House of Representatives parang nagtatapunan ng putik. So, kasalanan ng mga senador, kasalanan ng mga congressmen. Nag-manifestation na po si Senator Cheese Escudero nung Lunes. And then you also have the former speaker, Martin Romualdez, flipping the table saying DDS script lang daw yun. What do you make of all that's happening now in
Walang mangyayari yan kung hindi nila sinong mastermind.
Sino po bang mastermind?
Alam mo yan, alam ko rin.
Hindi
Hindi
ko po
natin
alam.
masabi dito. Bubugin tayo ng mga trolls.
So you believe the buck doesn't stop with the senators and the House?
No. Meron, hindi mangyayari yan kung hindi alam ang administrasyon.
Okay.
Tolerated yan eh. Lalabas. Bakit lumabas yung mga yan? Napaka, na ito, na parang nagtiwala sila na hindi mabubukol. Dahil nasa rin na sila. Third year na ito ni President Marcos. Why is it going on? Now, they're blaming the past administration. Okay. In every administration, meron ganito, pero bakit niya tinuloy? Yun, doon tayo, ngayon, focus tayo dito. Wala, focus na sa bintangan. Pumapalakpak lang sila dyan. Yun ang gusto nila, away-away tayo.
Okay. Gov, well, some critics say, may pananaw din sila na kaya po kayo nagsispeak up on this issue because it could be politically motivated.
What? Paano yun yung political motivated?
2028.
Oh.
Pag-usapan na po natin. So it's no secret, supporter po kayo ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
He's a friend, both of them. Kung may kasalanan si Vice President, then impeach her. Nobody's above the law.
So will you be playing an active role in Sara Duterte's campaign if ever she runs in 2028?
Depende kung ano mangyayari. You cannot tell the future. Depende lahat yan.
So for you, Gov, this is all just to fight corruption?
Yes.
Ano po ba ugat nito?
Yes, fight corruption. But, ulit-uli ang suggestion ko. It should be yung kabataan who will lead this peaceful movement.
Bakit kabataan, Gov? Why
Dahil
do you believe?
kami may mga putik na binabato na. Politician. Ako, open book. Kung may kasalanan ako, kung totoo lahat yung sinabi nila, pakukulong ako. Kung may diferensya yung construction namin, pakukulong. O sino man doon.
Okay, pero Gov, the palace is considering, based on your remarks po kasi,
Yes.
mukhang baka inciting to sedition daw po.
Kulong nila kung gusto nila. They can kill me if they want to. But nasabi ko lang gusto ko, para malaman lang ang taong bayan.
So
They
for
can
you, you're not
do
inciting
anything.
to
They're
sedition.
very powerful. Pero baka mas masama pa sa tatay niya mangyari sa kanya kung hindi siya tumino.
Gov, kayo rin po ay...
Ako pa nga nagsusuport ako pa sumasagot. Nagsisinungaling na nga ako noon na sinusuport. Hindi masamang tao yan dahil nung inimbita ko tumulong, akala ko lilinisin ang pangalan ng tatay nila. It's worse now than what happened.
How so?
Ha?
How so, Gov? Paano? Bakit mas worse sa opinion nyo ngayon?
Wala ka
Pangalan
dito
ng
nung
Marcos
panahon ni old President Marcos.
Senior.
Walang ganitong kalaki. Milyon-milyon lang. Ngayon, trillion lang ang mga project.
Under the administration.
Under the administration of
Okay.
Marcos Jr.
So where do you see this going, Governor? Ano ang kahihinatnan nitong mga investigasyon ng inyong panawagan na magsimula sa Ilocos Norte? You are asking the youth to start a movement, asking the president to resign.
Nobody's above the law. Dapat lahat ng may kasalanan maparusahan. Pero by President Marcos, Bongbong Marcos, to continue, wala na siyang karapatan dahil dito lumabas lahat eh. Ang laki na ito. Nagsasalita siya na siya pang naglabas lahat. Siguro may Alzheimer o nakalimutan niya, damay ang probinsya niya. Ngayon, tinatakpan nila. Ang liwanag naman tinatakpan nila eh. Bakit di umpisahan? Bakit di galawin ang Ilocos Norte ngayon? Bakit nung Senate hearing, linampasan ng Ilocos Norte? Ang liwanag eh.
Are you willing to join the hearings? Parang may reports na baka kayo daw po ay maimbita.
Yes. Tawagin nila ako kung gusto nila.
Okay. Message na lang po. Gov.
Yeah.
What is your message to the President and the public?
Well, maawa sana sa ating bansa ang President Marcos. Bongbong, you should resign now bago kasi patalsikin ng taong bayan. Dahil galit ang tao. You don't know, silent na ang tao. Marami na pong galit. Dahil ito na pinakamalaki. At hindi lang ito, ha. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Isang departamento lang ito. Dito na pinakamaraming graft and corruption na administration.
Other departments that should be investigated, Gov, mabilisan. Ibang departamento bukod sa DPWH, top of mind.
Isa-isa lang, marami. Pero
dalawa, give me two.
Dadami ang babato
sige.
sa akin.
Next time na lang. After
Maraming
na lang ng
next time.
interview.
Maraming mga ulol na aso dyan na
Okay.
baka amoy ng pera, kakagat.
Ayun. Okay. For now, thank you very much for joining us this morning
Thank
and
you.
for all those insights. That was former Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson. Thank you.
Maraming salamat din sa pagkakataon.
Right, don't go away. We still have more matters to discuss right after this break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. Kapatid programs and personalities have been named national winners at the 2025 Asian Academy Creative Awards. Morning Matters host Gretchen Ho was named Best Factual Presenter, while Money Talks with Kathy Ang won Best News Program. Meanwhile, Singaling Season 3 bagged Best Non-Scripted Entertainment, and Mary Ang Vibes ng Pasko was named Best General Entertainment Program. Piolo Pascual also clinched Best Actor in a Supporting Role for The Kingdom, while Good Morning Kapatid host Dimples Romana won Best Actress in a Supporting Role for her film The Caretakers. They will represent the Philippines at the Grand Awards Gala in Singapore this December. And that wraps up today's episode of Morning Matters. We hope we've given you just the right start to your morning. Let's make the day matter. I'm Pauline Verzosa, sitting in for Gretchen Ho. We are One News, all sides, all the time.